Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Yo, checking in with the homie Sozi. How you feeling, Brody?
Yo, it's good, bro. How you feeling?
All good, man. Thank you for coming out, bro.
Yes, sir. Always.
For sure.
Always.
Man, we appreciate you for sliding on the 4th, you feel me?
Hey, man, ain't no thing, man.
What you got planned for the day?
Slow motion for real, man. I was telling Nuke, man, off guard, man. I was trying to hit Navy for the 4th to see the fireworks, but they shut them down because of COVID. So I was like, man.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. I'm like, y'all got that joint open all day, every day.
Yeah. Hey, what you can say?
I was like, but close it for the fireworks. So I'm just slow motion, man. I'm chilling.
For sure. How your stay been coming back in Chicago?
It's been good, man. Got in early yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Just chilling with my moms. You know what I mean? Keeping it real slow motion, man.
For sure. How long you out here till?
Just until next Saturday. So just a week, man.
Oh yeah. You gonna hop back in motion?
Yeah, man. We chilling right now though.
You don't live in the city?
No, I live out west. So, for right now, I'm in New Orleans. Right now, I stay in New Orleans. I moved out there last year around this time for a job. So, moved out there. And I went to school out there, too. So, I did undergrad at Dillard University, graduated. So, it's like my second home.
Yeah.
So, it's I'm back and forth. So, this is my first time back this year. And so it's been great out there. Honestly, it's been real chill.
What was that change like from New Orleans to Chicago?
Slower. It's slower out there. It's more slow motion. Like here we real fast paced. Mm-hmm. We move on to different type of time out there, and so just going out there being as moving as fast as I did when I was here. Mm-hmm. Just kind of every day it just kind of forced me to kind of just take a level back and slow down. And then plus my job, it was virtual all year. And so just being in the crib, mm-hmm. you really just got to slow it down, just really having that time for yourself just to be spaced and just do your thing. I think that allowed me to get adjusted more rather than moving and having to go to work every day and just being thrown into everything, mm-hmm. being able to go, be in the crib, decorate my crib, sit with my crib, things that, stuff like that.
Right, give yourself a little bonding time.
You know what I mean? So, it wasn't as bad as not that I thought it would be, but, it was chill. For sure. Nice little transition, yeah.
Out here, like, it seems like once you move around, once you in emotion and everything, you around people, like, hop on the E-way or something, you around people who got somewhere to be. Mm-hmm. So, like, is it like that in New Orleans? Because I noticed, like, when I went to the South, like, I see a lot more lounging around, mm-hmm. like, people chilling and everything. They could just do a regular thing, like, stroll. You got few people here and there that stroll, but, like, is it like that down there?
Absolutely, man. People just on their own type of time, bro. Uh-huh. Like, just not, moving with no type of urgency, right. Even if it's an urgent moment. Like, you go to a fast food joint, say if you go to McDonald's, you want to get you a quick McChicken, man, they treating that joint like it's a restaurant. Right. Like you in grandma's kitchen, man. Right. You know what I mean? Just chilling. Sometimes I'll be like, man, can y'all hurry up? You feel me? But it's like, sometimes you appreciate those things, man. People just, ease with things and take things real slow. It's a different way of living. It's just a good way of living.
For real, because out here, when we get some food, we got to call in, trying to in and out.
You feel me? Call it in so we can go and grab it, you feel me? And we ain't waiting. And that's what a lot of things, too. Like, we just don't believe in just waiting for things. It's like, when we get some, when we want some, we want to go take care of it, handle it when we want to do it, and do it.
That's for sure.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You pull up to Mardi Gras?
They canceled it last year because of COVID.
Damn.
They did. But there's rumblings that it might be back. So hopefully next year, next year is back. So we'll see. But I know they're bringing the festivals back. So like Buku Fest, Jazz Fest, they all happening in October. So they'll usually be happening around this time. Mm-hmm. But they're happening at the end of the year now. So hopefully that's like the start of everything, kind of opening back up and doing what needs to happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you been getting into like the New Orleans culture?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the main reasons we're here to talk about today. But I think that was one of the main things that I wanted to do organically, genuinely. I think one of the foundations of being from Chicago is we know how to build relationships with people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We know how to talk to people. We know how to, especially if it's something that we want to do. You know what I mean? We know how to make sure to get into those spaces, to put ourselves front forward in that space. Like, yo, I'm here. This is what I do. Yeah. I'm trying to rock with you. You know what I mean? And so I think a lot of that, the foundations of like being in the community in New Orleans started when I was in school there. And it kind of, when I moved back, it just flourished and took on a life of its own, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
So you got your joint project As We Proceed. You got it with a New Orleans artist. So Absolutely. How was it coming down there already into music and connecting with people on their music scene?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I've been knowing Crucial since 2000 and early 2018, early 2018. And I met him through another artist who's also on Get a Grip. Her name is Sleazy Easy. I saw her on Twitter with this song. It's called Dummy. Fire. So I just hit her DMs. I'm like, yo, what's good? I'm ISO. I was ISO then. I'm ISO. I want to collab with you. Like, you fire. You know what I mean? She was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. You know, we met. You know, she came. She put up on me. I was still staying. I was in college. She came to my crib at Dillard. We ran through the song. You did. She was like, all right, pull up to the studio. So we get to the studio. Crucial was the engineer. So Crucial is an artist, engineer, and a producer. He do it all. He was the engineer for that session or whatever. And so we did our song. We got it done. It's fire. It's called Players Club. It's out there if y'all want to go listen to it. But he was like, yeah, man, I'm an artist too. I'm like, all right, say less. I'm a book with you because I need a studio. Right. I'm a book with you, and we gonna move forward. And the rest was history, man. We the first joint we ever did was called Chakras. That's back in 2018 too. It just built that relationship every time. I moved back here for a year. 19, I was here for the whole year, like when COVID hit. And when I was going back, I would always pull up on them, just do some music, just built a relationship, man. And here we go as we proceed.
For sure.
Yeah.
Was it hard getting acclimated with that New Orleans sound to mesh with your sound?
Not really. I think that a lot of the elements that we have in our music, when we talk about people who really making music and not just like, just rapping, like, have those elements of soul, have those elements of jazz, have those elements of everything that was birthed down there. We do it in our music as well. And I think the only thing that being down there and being around my peoples down there in that community was just more inspiration. Like, oh, you could do this a little bit differently, or you could twang your voice just a little bit more and it sound just a little bit better, or you can incorporate these types of sounds in your music and make it better. I don't think it was hard because I was already making music that was like soulful and just had a lot of flavor within it. The only thing that being down there did was just taught me how to do things a little bit better or a little bit differently, and just kind of took the sound to another level. So it wasn't hard at all, man. The community down there, freaking amazing, man. Like, the artists down there are amazing, welcoming, especially if you ain't no fugazi stuff, man. If you down there, if you genuine, if you working it, and if you cold, they'll embrace you. And it's been a beautiful thing.
For sure. Now, I seen, I believe the first project of yours that I checked out you sent through, it was championship season. Was that it?
That was it, yeah.
So I seen a bigger drop off with how you roll out your project. So what have you learned from the time championship season dropped until as we proceed? Man,
championship season, man, a lot of that rollout got kind of messed up because of COVID. We didn't expect COVID to hit.
Exactly.
And I had a lot of things planned. I was here. I worked with a lot of my homies from down here on that project. Crucial engineered like half of that project when I was going back and forth. But I worked a lot on that and finished it up here.
Right.
And the plan was for me to kind of drop it off here, do a whole bunch of stuff with it with my homies. Shout out Huey Gang. They was on there and just couldn't do it. You know what I mean? And so I think that the music on there, I look back on that project, man. I was just talking about this the other day. I look back on that project, man. I'm like, all right, like the music on there was straight. But it's like, okay, how can we take this thing to another level? And so went back south. And the thing we was talking about earlier was just taking your time. Things take time. Like, don't rush anything. I felt like a lot of championship season, when I look back on it, was rushed. And that's just my honest critique of my own work. Right. It was rushed. You know what I mean? And not rushed in the sense of, okay, actually, yeah. Let me say that. Like, rush to get it out because COVID happened. Like, you want to get your music out. I feel like, oh shit, people inside, people need things to listen to. So I dropped that. We dropped that off 2 months earlier than expected. Right. Because I was like, it's done. Why wait on it? People in the house, they gonna listen to it. You know what I mean? But I think that looking back, if I would have waited on that, man, probably would have been a bigger reception. I probably would have been able to do a little bit more behind it, but. It's a project that's there. It's a good project. It's not it's not trash. It don't suck. But yeah, I think that what I learned from being down there, especially being around Crucial and all those guys, man, just time, man. Take your time with things. You ain't got to rush nothing. And that's exactly what we did with As We Proceed.
For real, and that might be you grasping into that New Orleans culture what we was talking about earlier, slowing everything slowed down.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Some of those songs, that song As We Proceed, man, we didn't even set out to make a project. That wasn't what we was doing. Like every time I would have a session, you know what I mean? I would set aside time. Hey man, I got some beats. Let's listen to beats. Let's see which ones inspire us the most. Or he'll be like, yo, pull up to the studio. I got some, let's work. Let's do something. We was just throwing stuff in the vault. Excuse me. We was throwing stuff in the vault. And then one day I was like, bro, you want to do a project? He was like, all right. And then we didn't have a name for it at all. Like we didn't come up with the name for it maybe until last month. We was like, all right, we about to do this. You know what I mean? So it was that organic. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What would you say is your favorite songs off the project and why?
What you want, a top 5, top 3?
You could just tell me one. And but I really want the why behind it. You feel me? Because that explains a lot more about the record.
My favorite, I'll give you 2. So my favorite song overall is Can't Explain It. And that song was produced by the homie Nextel Chirp, who's from Chicago. I think that song it's just a vibe, man. Like, that was one of the songs where I challenged myself as an artist more. I'm singing that whole song. I'm like rap singing, but mostly singing. You know what I mean? And that's not really my trade. Like, you know what I mean? That's not really my thing. But I can if I. And I think that one was the one that kind of challenged me the most because I don't do that. You know what I mean? And that's the one I'm really the most proud of. You know what I mean? On that project. Verse-wise, I think my favorite verse on there that I spit, that me and Kr3wcial both spit together, probably the Protect Your Peace. That's the intro. And I'll say that too because we went back and forth on that. We picked up, like, that was like real, like, joint rap. You know what I mean? He picked up off my last line. I picked off his last line and the rapping. And just, that's a different way of writing. Like, you really got to work with somebody to do that. It's not like throwing the beat on, going into the studio, you rap. It wasn't like that. It was real, like, I'm listening to what he's saying. I'm like, okay, how do I call back on things that he said? Or he listened to what I'm saying. How does he call back on things that I'm saying? Like, it was really a collaborative experience. You know what I mean? And so I'll say the intro, Protect Your Peace, and Can't Explain It are my 2 favorites on that project. And then I'll give you a third just because we're talking about the project. It's a joint in there called Emerald City, produced by Chad Roby. Shout out Chad Roby, man. The Wiz is my favorite movie. I wanted to find a way how to incorporate that. Chad flipped that Emerald City sequence when they was changing the colors. That's a beautiful song too. So yeah, those are my top 3.
So when I was reading the track list, I thought Emerald City was gonna be something based off of Sonic the Hedgehog. Low key.
Yeah, that's the original Emerald City from the Wiz, Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful song right there. Absolutely.
It seemed like you learned a lot about yourself while creating this project. So what would be one thing that you actually learned about yourself?
That I could rap. That I can actually rap, and that's not me being like head ass or anything. Like, that's just honest. Like, I've been artistically, I've kept myself in a box for so long. And when you get an artist like Kr3wcial who constantly like pushes the envelope and wants everybody around you, especially if he's working with you, like to be better and to like push you, I learned that I can push myself and I can do this. And also, just on another level with it, like, I also learned that, making music, it takes time. It's a process. You know what I mean? Like, it is a process, especially good music. You know what I mean? It's a process. You can't rush any of that. And I learned that I could actually take the time to do things, roll things out the right way. That video was like the first time that I've shot like a video. So being in that space, having that experience, like, I realized, man, I could actually do this. And even the reception from it is like, okay, I can keep going to do this. You know what I mean? Because I think an artist's worst fear is like you put so much into your artistry, you put so much into your music, and we're not just talking about money, but we're talking about time and dedication, and you got to sit and write the rhymes, you got to sit and craft up the ideas. Like, you just spend so much time in addition to what we do in our everyday life. Right. Will it go over well? Will people receive it? Will people like it? And the reception of this has just been beautiful and organic, and you know, it definitely motivates me to just keep going and just not stop because, you know, you see what's possible.
We talked about how you had to sit and learn to enjoy like everything that was around you with COVID. Mm-hmm. So would you say that helped you unlock like a creative side of yourself that you didn't realize?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's like the only answer to that question. You know, a lot of people just thank God that we, number one, that we all here, that we healthy, that we safe, and that we didn't succumb to what a lot of people succumb to because of that. You feel me? That's number one. But number two, absolutely, man. Like you just said, like you said, man. In addition to your everyday life, you got to find some type of way to, you know, get outside and see things. Like you got to find some type of way to keep your brain moving, especially when you sitting in the crib. You know what I mean? You got to find some type of way to still kind of have some type of expression. You know what I'm saying? When you sitting in the crib, and I think that forced me to kind of just look within, write, create, stay in my bubble of people who I knew was safe. You know what I mean? And be able to still work, and be able to still create. I think that was like a beautiful thing. And that part of my life didn't have to stop. And if that didn't, you know, if that would have stopped, I probably would have been like, man, all right, what am I going to do? But because I still had that opportunity to still work, we was all, you know, in a little bubble, still working, that kept me going for sure.
Ill Sound Radio, we back in the building.
Yo, check it back in with Sozi.
Yo.
So what's the biggest drop off that you see from how New Orleans music infrastructure is versus Chicago? Because you noted that that a lot of the elements in music, such as like, you know, the jazz and everything, is there. But what's the biggest drop off between the setting for the artist?
I think that New Orleans is on its way up, especially the hip hop, because we all know New Orleans is a musical city. When we talk about music, we talk about like jazz, we talk about big band, brass band, like things of that nature. But the rap scene is really, really, really on its way up right now. And it seems like, you know, everybody in the rap scene right now who's making music, who's making dope music, really just getting that amount of love out there.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing to see. I think, you know, Chicago, and, you know, hate to say it, and we all know it, but it's just super cliquey. You know what I mean? When we talk about Chicago artists out here, like artists out here don't believe in supporting the next man for some odd reason. Like it's like, you know, we got our crew right here, we gonna stay with our crew. We got our crew, we gonna stay with our crew. But it's like, it's okay to still have your crew and still be like, yo, my man's new cold. I'm feeling, we gonna bless my man's new. We gonna get him, you know, a feature, put him on this show. Like it's just little things that you can do to support your fellow artists, especially if they cold and if you rock with them. I don't know what it is, but it's been like that forever, you know. And we all know that.
Do you
know
feel
what I mean,
like
about the city?
Do you feel like it's like that in Chicago because of lack thereof? Like, you know, say if you got you and your buddy, y'all rapping, then one pop, then the next one is on his way up, but he ain't popping yet. But then the one that's popping, like you pull your homie up, like, all right, we gonna go. Then do you feel like it ain't been a lot of that through example? That's why it's like that.
Interesting.
Because like a lot of places, like you got Atlanta, even probably I don't know how it go in New Orleans, but a lot of places, you know, that's why I do that. You got the Young Thug, here come Gunna, here come Baby, here come Key.
Right.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
how it is down. That's Atlanta. That's how it is in New Orleans. I mean, you know, it's like, man, we rock with you. You know, if you rock with, if you cold, hey man, come on man, come get on this song. Hey man, come, we got a show, man, come open up. Or you know, it's just little things like that. I think here, like, you know, we haven't really seen that. You know what I mean? It's like even going back to the Save Money days. You know what I mean? You had Chance and Vic, and you know, I know we love Chance, bro. That's, you know, we love Chance, but Vic, bro, like Vic Mensa is like on another.
That's an artist.
That's an artist, bro. Like that's. I don't know. He's always been cold since internet, all that. It's just always been Vic Mensa. You know what I mean? He's always been that cold one. He's always been the one. Even we look at his trajectory, but that man did rock music, Bro, that man went and did punk music. Bro, that man went and did anything he wanted to do artistically and really like push the boundaries of his artistry. You know what I mean? He didn't just stick to rap, but when he want to rap, bro, like he gonna spit.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And and then we had Chance, and then Chance kind of just stuck to his grizzy, kind of did his thing and rapped and went his way up. You know what I mean? And so I think that the artists can be different. And they still, they had their thing, but they still support each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's like now they at the top now. It's not, we ain't at Harold Washington no more. You know what I mean? And so I just see that a lot here. You know what I mean? There's so many cool artists out here who really rocking, who really doing their thing. I know one artist, her name is Lyric J. She's super cool. I be seeing her spit on Instagram. She really cool. But I haven't seen her, with anybody, so I'm trying to figure out a way how to work with her.
Yeah.
And shout out to Fable. I don't know if you heard of the Storybook Collective. Fable and Sage P and Catchy and all them, man, they from out south, man. They super cold. Sage P, actually, he got some production on As We Proceed and a couple other projects I got coming up. And Fable also, he was on my last project. He played a horn tube, and they got a band, bro. They so cold, man.
Yeah, that's dope.
But they on their way up, man. I think it's just a lot of talent out here that hasn't really been tapped into because maybe they don't have that opportunity, those resources to really like show where they at, or they do, but it's like, all right, where how can we get that to that next step?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I feel like in New Orleans, it's like we all getting there.
Exactly.
We all cold, like freaking, like we all gonna get there one way or another.
Exactly.
So that's the big difference to me.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, just dropped a project. What can we expect in the near future from you?
We still rocking with As We Proceed right now. That's what we doing. That's the main thing. It's a big project, so there'll be a lot more coming with around this project. Currently locked in, working on another project, an album called Time Will Tell. Executive produced by Chad Roby. Chad Roby is amazing, bro. Like he's like kind of curating the sound out there in New Orleans. So shout out to Chad. And just some more things. It might be something in between that. It's a group of producers called Bag Season. Recently just linked up with them, so I might be doing a small little EP with them. Yeah. And that might come right before the album, so who knows? But definitely, it's all As We Proceed right now. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a lot more surrounding this project right now.
For sure. And
absolutely.
With as We Proceed, talk about like the Get a Grip video, because I seen y'all had a lot of different directions going on. Like you was telling me, it was an old furniture commercial in New Orleans. So talk about.
So we kind of spoofed 3 different things. So the first one, shout out to Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage, who's not really not a real business.
I went and looked them up.
Yeah,
before.
but my man, the dude who did the skit, he's from here. He's from Chicago, and so. We all know Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. We all thought it was real for the longest, bro. We had Steph Curry doing it. They had Steph doing the dance. Yep. So that was the main for the Sozis, Tozies, and Frozies. Like that was the main inspiration. Right. We wanted to do something. We both from different places. We wanted to do something that people from Chicago will recognize, people from New Orleans will recognize, and everybody can kind of relate to. And so with the furniture store, there's this old school furniture store called Frankie and Johnny's in New Orleans, man. Everybody from New Orleans know them. They was like the furniture dudes, and so that's what Kr3wcial did. He decided to show love to the city by doing Frankie and Johnny's, and then every city got a janky car salesman. We got janky car coming down Cicero. You seen a whole bunch of them.
Hey, you know what they say? Don't buy a car off Western.
Don't buy a car off Western. You feel me? New Orleans got them too. Every city got them, and that's something that we can all relate to. Them janky car salesmen. So we wanted to make sure that we show love to our cities respectively. Because this is a joint project and we both from different places, you know what I mean? But we collaborate through music, and that was just it was just fun, man. That was a really fun day. We did that all in one day. That whole shoot from 8 to 8 really, but it was a beautiful day.
For sure. And what's something that you want listeners to get up out of As We Proceed? Like once we done spinning it, what's something that we can take away from it in your opinion?
In my opinion, man. Music brings us together, bro. Honestly, man, it is possible to collaborate with people from different spaces, different places, different ages, just from a different place. But there's one thing that we all have in common, and that's music. And we all have different places, but same experiences. And so just take the time to get to know people, take the time to understand people, take the time to work with people. It's possible to bridge gaps, man, and build community and things that we love and things that we want to do. And so that was the main thing that, I want you all to take from it, man. We both from different places. Crew from New Orleans, West Bank of New Orleans. I'm from the west side of Chicago. You feel me? But we did it, man. It's a beautiful project. As we proceed out now, all streaming platforms. Get a great video out now on YouTube.
For sure.
All right, now before we get out of here, shout out your social media, you feel me? Plug the project and the visual one more time.
You can find me on all social media platforms at Sozi, not ISO. That's SOZINOTISO. SOZINOTISO. As we proceed, a collaborative listening experience by Sozi and Kr3wcial out now on all streaming platforms. Get a Grip video, the lead single, out now on YouTube. You dig?
All right, Jimmy, talk to the people real quick.
All right. First thing, thank you for coming out, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time, man.
Absolutely.
On this holiday, you be safe, you and yours, yes, you know. Sir. So we gonna do the same. But yeah, everybody who listening, go follow Groove Nuke, GROOVNUKE. Follow Ill Sound Radio, ILLSOUND Radio. Man, we gonna keep the content coming. Go ahead, download that app, because y'all know in 3 days we back outside with iLLANOiZE Radio.
Facts.
The whole iLLANOiZE platform, full artist list release, man. So y'all come see some dope Chicago talents, man. Have a good time with us, and make sure y'all got that app at the door for sure. And what you got to say, Jay?
Man, like Jimmy say, man, go download that app once again. Thank you for sliding through, bro.
Absolutely, bro.
I want to tell you this. You just gained a new fan, you feel me? Because I listen to people's music, but I love interviews so much, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can sit and watch an interview and never have heard your music, and based off how your interview go, I'll go check it out, you feel me? So I feel like you gonna gain listeners just from how well you presented yourself and the things we talked about in this interview. So salute to you, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
No doubt.
You know, I'm a forever listener, man. I'll be tapped in at the crib.
Oh yeah, for sure. Appreciate it.
I know that, man. Shout out Beak on them too, man.
For sure.